Dana said that Jones gets the winner of Rumble Cormier.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. That is the fight to make. And, he was singing a different tune right after UFC 200 when he was a little frustrated. And he just said, look, I can't put any more bets on this guy. I can't come out and do posters and billboards and commercials and go to the expense for a guy that's burned me 3 times. And I've made that argument for him on Jose Aldo, who's burned him a total of 5 times and will burn him again. There are some guys that do that, but Jon Jones is the right guy. I want to see him fight Rumble. I want to see him fight Cormier. To put a belt up in that division and act like Jon Jones doesn't exist is a pretty tough sell for me. I'm happy about that.
Well, he deserves that rematch because he's never been beat. He's lost one match and he was killing the guy. Matt Hamill.
Yeah, and I don't like that either. People try to say he's undefeated. Joe Rogan has tried to rewrite history. It calls him undefeated. John said it about himself. Listen, there's a lot of ways to lose a match, and it's not just tapping out. Disqualification is one of them. It sits right there on the same par. That's in the rule book. He was disqualified. He did lose. I get that you could put an asterisk by it. I get that whole dialogue if you want to do, but there's more ways to lose a match than one, and he did lose.
Now, to your point, what Dana said is, Dana said he will not put him on the top of the bill again. So I believe him. I don't think they're going to go on the top of the bill. I think there'll be a super card this summer because doesn't John get finished in July with that same time?
Yeah, very end of June, early. When did he pop? He popped on
UFC
the
200.
Second. Yeah, it was UFC 200. But what was the date? Was it the 2nd or the 4th? So right there in the beginning, and they either go to the day that it was found out, so that would put you right in that early July, or it's to the day where the test was collected, which I believe was like June 24th or something. So the point is, yes, they could book him. He will fight the moment that suspension's up. Don't forget, they did that with Anderson and Bisping. Anderson was suspended until January 29th, and he fought Bisping on January 30th. So they promoted it. They moved forward. They expected he could get a license. He did. And the show. And I think the same thing will happen with Jones, and I think it's the right call.
I think Rumble's going to win that fight
over DC.
Over DC, then Jon Jones is going to beat Rumble, which still sets up Cormier Jones 2 and Ultimate Fighter show.
Yeah, it works out in any way you want to slice it. That parody works. I'll watch all 3 of those killers go at it all day long. I do think that Rumble over DC is a bold call by you, only because it's not as though we have to wonder. They have fought. We saw it. It wasn't overly competitive. And then it comes back to the fact, well, Rumble's the biggest striker in the sport. He could catch him at any point. It's like, man, I'll tip my hat to that. That's definitely true. However, Rumble did catch him. Rumble caught him clean, put his ass down. DC did a full 360 backwards roll and popped back up to his feet. I just think if you're making a prediction based on the evidence that you have, I think in your case you have big courage taking Rumble.
Now, one of the things DC said, hey, I'm going to stand in the pocket and I'm going to knock him out, which means to me I'm going to shoot a double as fast as I can.
Yeah, for sure it does. Yeah, it was a little transparent when he said that, and he did run it back. I watched the thing on TMZ where he even said what you just said. He goes, look, this is my plan, but if I get hit one time, I'm grabbing a hold of this guy. So it is what it is. But trading with AJ, man, that's not smart. Why trade with anybody if you don't have to?
You got me. They're trying to make Diaz, Nick Diaz, comeback fight against Maia, and the winner gets a title shot.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. Diaz confuses me a little bit. Look, he's never been the easiest guy to work with, is what they say. However, he's never been a guy that doesn't accept whatever fight comes his way. Now, whether he goes out and does PR for it and plays that whole game has been tough, but he's never been a guy that delayed a contract or missed an opportunity to compete. That has changed after he started making those big paydays, and all of a sudden he got a little bit less motivated. But where it did confuse me is he worked really hard to get that license back. Don't forget what he went through with that 5-year ban in Nevada and that huge suspension of fine. They ended up taking that back, but it was with a hefty lawsuit and a lot of time and a lot of effort and energy, all just so he could get licensed. That told me, look, this guy wants to compete. So he got that license. He reached that settlement. He got everything squared away, and now he's going, I'm not so quick to jump back in there. So that surprised me a little bit. But I do get confused too, and you and I talked about this before. Diaz wants the big money fights. The thing with that is, whatever fight he's in is the big money fight. He's got a huge fan base and he offers a lot. I mean, his style's fun, but his entrance is fun. Whatever craziness he's going to do at the weigh-ins and the pressers and whatever media he's going to skip, man, it's all fun. There's a circus that follows that. There is big numbers, big fans, and big money for him. He is not the guy that needs the dance partner, and he needs the dance partner to be a really famous guy to carry the card. He is that guy. Go pick an opponent. I mean, just go put anybody in there. As long as he's on the other side of it, they're going to do big business, and he's going to get a big paycheck. So that argument of I want the big money fight when you're Nick Diaz, does he know he's Nick Diaz? Does he know, look, man, you are the one?
Well, there's two things that generally end up happening in the UFC. It's what you want and what you get. And sooner or later, Nick is going to take what he gets as opposed to what he wants, and he's going to come back and fight, and we're all going to buy it, and we're going to be pumped about it.